This is the Geneva studio of Dukascopy TV. We're talking about the impact of China on the Russian economy and the economy of the CIS countries with Mr. Zolotarev from Maximus Capital. Welcome to the studio, Mr. Zolotarev.
Thank you.
So we have seen a weakening Chinese economy recently. So what are the impacts on Russia and the CIS countries?
Well, it's unclear, first of all, whether the Chinese economy has weakened, but we have seen a very drastic and a violent sell-off in the stock market. Now, I think most people, aside from upsetting many Western investors, I believe that this sell-off had a devastating effect on the portion of the Chinese population which has come to rely on the stock market as a source of wealth and cash. And that means that their spending and their abilities to invest globally will be impacted, and we have not yet seen the repercussions of this effect. Many of these stocks were bought using leverage. They were bought using borrowed money against real assets. And I think I believe we're going to see some negative outcome, especially when it comes to commodity pricing, especially when we begin to see real contraction of the Chinese economy. So it's one of those cases where the tail is wagging the dog.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What other sectors do you particularly see which are affected?
Well, in this particular case, since we are speaking about Russia and we're seeing, what impact will it have? Of course, the Russian markets have sold off just as violently, just as quickly as the Chinese markets for two reasons. One is that the drop in the oil price, of course, the Russian economy, highly dependent on the commodities index. And second, of course, is that because of the sanctions, because of the growing isolation of Russia in global markets, China has become extremely important, a very important trading partner and a very important consumer of commodities that Russia is producing.
Mm-hmm. Do you see this development of the sell-off of equities stopped, or what is your perspective on this?
I believe whatever we're seeing now is driven by speculative motivations. There's been a decoupling of fundamentals in, most definitely in the Russian market, and now we're seeing it in the Chinese. The Chinese market's been going up now, like it's no tomorrow, and this most recent correction, is a reaction. And one could possibly say an overreaction, but we're still far away from the fundamental realistic prices of where they should be.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Zolotarev, let's quickly also switch to Ukraine. There has been negotiations on restructuring of the Ukraine debt. And can you give us an overview what has happened in the last weeks?
Yes, of course. I mean, as you know, and as we spoke before, we and our firm specializes in emerging markets, especially the CIS. So Ukraine has been very much in focus of our investment themes. The world has been distracted and captivated by what's happening in Greece, and therefore Ukraine has not been getting a lot of attention, but it is very much in the it's very much on the horizon of those investors who have invested a lot, namely Templeton funds, some of the large hedge funds. Now, what's happening is that the Ukrainian government has taken a very, very categorical position. They're demanding a very significant haircut, 40%, in addition to the prolongation of debt and restructuring. And I feel that the outcome, of course, the investors are resisting and they're saying, well, we can achieve the same result or a similar result without any haircuts. So they really have locked horns over this. I feel there is an opportunity, speculative opportunity for investors right now, simply because I feel that the final terms that they will wind up negotiating would not be as dramatic as the Ukrainian government is presently offering. I believe the investors will walk away with a much smaller haircut. There is even the possibility that they will pay no haircut. The main motivation is that the Ukrainian economy is not going to be self-sufficient in any foreseeable future. They're going to need these people again and again and again. They're going to need to do their best to preserve goodwill among international investment community and not to burn any bridges. And that should take precedence over any immediate and short-term financial goals.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zolotarev, for being here today.
My pleasure.
And thanks for watching. Do make sure to keep clicking back on the Dukascopy TV website for latest updates and exclusive interviews. Have a great day and see you next time.